All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. After beginning last year's NFL season with a record of 7-3, the Tennessee Titans would finish that year on a 7-game losing streak as they missed out on winning the AFC South to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, the Titans were done in by injuries last year, with the biggest one coming to veteran quarterback Ryan Tannehill. And in recent years, the Titans have been very close, but they've been unable to get over that hump. You think about this team when they made that run to the AFC Championship game back in 2019. Excuse me. 2020 would see the Titans win the NFC South, but then they lost at home to the Baltimore Ravens in the wild card round. Then 2021, the Titans would finish with the best record in the AFC, but then they were one and done in the postseason, courtesy of the Cincinnati Bengals. Excuse me. Last year saw the Titans trade AJ Brown to the Philadelphia Eagles, the dynamic wide receiver. And in acquiring Brown, it helped the Eagles reach the Super Bowl. And that move right there was like the end, if you will, for John Robinson as the Titans general manager. As it wouldn't be that long after that. Matter of fact, right after the Titans got blown out, courtesy of the Eagles in Philadelphia, that he got his pink slip. Now, this year the Titans have started off slow. They're 2-4, and we just saw them trade safety, Pro Bowl safety Kevin Byard to Philadelphia. It's like, wow, the Titans all of a sudden become the minor league team for the Eagles. But once again, Philadelphia is looking to make a run at the Super Bowl. And the question is going to be now, does the buyer trade officially throw in the towel for this era of Titans football? I mean, you look at it, and this team, the current Titans, what they've been the last couple of years under head coach Mike Vrabel, they've done it with their defense. And then they've also done it with their solid running game that features Pro Bowl running back Derrick Henry. And I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. I feel like the Titans have wasted the prime years of Derrick Henry's career. And I've also, said it that at some point the other shoe has to drop for Derrick Henry. I mean, don't get me wrong, this guy is phenomenal. He's going to be a Hall of Famer when it's all said and done. But you figure 3 out of the last 4 years, Henry has had 300 carries. You're talking about a guy who's a big physical bruising back. Obviously, he has electric speed as well. But at some point, the productivity is going to dip. But he just continues to defy the odds. But with that said, I feel like the Titans have not always put the right people around him offensively. The defense has been there, but the questions on offense. And now, aside from Derrick Henry, you have an injured Ryan Tannehill. He's probably on, his days are numbered as a Titans quarterback. And of course, when you think about Tannehill's time with the Titans, it was all about that magical run that he had in 2019. But a lot of that was predicated off of the play action pass due to the run game of Derrick Henry. No disrespect to Ryan Tannehill, but he's not going to be a guy that's going to elevate, a team with his ability at quarterback. I mean, you think about it, go back to that playoff loss a couple of years ago to the Bengals. You know, the Titans needed Ryan Tannehill to make some plays, and he did. And he threw three key interceptions in that contest as Tennessee fell at home to Cincinnati. And then, of course, the Titans have started to look at the future, if you will. In 2022, they used a pick on quarterback Malik Willis, and this past year in the draft, they used a pick on Will Levis. And I'll tell you like this: the next franchise quarterback, in my opinion, for the Tennessee Titans is not on the team because obviously Ryan Tannehill is on his way out the door. And then, with Malik Willis and Will Levis, we're talking about, possibly these guys splitting snaps with Tannehill out injured. And I'll tell you what, if you got two quarterbacks, you don't have one. So it's one of those right now. I mean, the Titans, they drafted these guys, but they simply are not the future. And it's going to hurt the Titans because if you look at the other three teams in the AFC South, for the most part, they have things figured out at the most important position on the football field. Trevor Lawrence is the real deal for Jacksonville. They made him the first overall pick a couple of years ago. CJ Stroud in a couple of starts for the Houston Texans is showing that he's the guy. The Colts drafted Anthony Richardson fourth overall this year. Obviously, his season got cut short with the shoulder injury, but he is going to be their guy going forward. The Titans are the only team in that division that has not figured it out or doesn't have it figured out long term right now. So, I mean, during Mike Vrabel's time as the head coach of the Titans, he's put together a very good team. Don't get me wrong, because you're talking about a Titan squad that in 3 out of the last 4 years they made the postseason. Okay, and under Vrabel, the Titans have won consecutive AFC South titles. But the thing is, it's like the Titans are a team. Not only I'm not going to say that they're built for the regular season, but they're built more for an era of football that no longer exists. And I'm talking about running the football, having a game manager, if you will, at quarterback, and relying on your defense. That's all well and good, and it can win you games during the regular season. But in the playoffs come January, you need that quarterback. You need that guy who's going to be able to take over, who's going to be able to make plays, who's going to be able to put an offense on his back and get it done. And they don't have that. And that is part of the reason why the Titans have come up short in January. Phenomenal players on defense. What can you say about Derrick Henry that already hasn't been said as far as his running ability? It's you still need that quarterback, that guy, and the Titans unfortunately have not had it. So it's transition time for the Titans. Of course, first year general manager Rand Carthon. He's going to do things a little bit differently than John Robinson did. Obviously him being on the same page with Mike Vrabel. Not to say that John Robinson wasn't, but if you're the Titans, you got to figure this out sooner rather than later. So I mean, if trading Kevin Byard to Philly is a signal that you're throwing in the towel, are you going to go all in on this or not? Because you want to try to get back on track sooner rather than later, especially since you still have some question marks at the quarterback position. So, I mean, at 2-4, I was kind of surprised to see the Titans, pull the trigger, if you will, on trading Kevin Byard, but a part of me wasn't as well. And it's going to be interesting to see how this transition goes for the Tennessee Titans. Are they going to go all in on rebuilding, or are they going to try to plug and patch this thing one more time? We just have to wait and see. But at the end of the day, let's see what the Titans do. They got to try to figure this thing out. And if they don't, they really could fall behind the curve in the AFC South. So let's just see if the Titans are going to go all in on this proposed fire sale. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take this time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on the X, formerly known as Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it'll be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. Now you can check it out. Drop a line and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin, and I am signing off. And I'm saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.